Welcome to the Elegant Oxford. We specialize and offer premium shoe shines, dyes, and artisan patinas for quality men's brands and help others to learn the art of shoe shining. Visit theelegantoxford.com for all of your shoe care and Saphir Madai Dior needs. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Elegant Oxford review series where I unbox, shine, and review brands that I recommend you check out. In today's video, I'm looking at an up-and-coming brand that many of you have already messaged me about called Bridlen. Now, Bridlen is unique from other shoes I've looked at because, unlike most other brands, Bridlen shoes are made in India and designed in Japan. The company was founded by veteran shoemakers Mr. Hassan and Mr. Watanabe. For the review, I decided on a brown Wingtip Oxford, but was actually sent 2 additional pairs to look at, so I really want to personally thank Bridlen for generously sending those extra pairs for the review. Everything is presented really nicely here with a clean and sturdy shoe box and extras like a wooden shoehorn, 2 separate shoe bags, and if you've seen my other reviews, you know I prefer 2 bags over 1 large bag. And they even come with a leather tag logo, a pamphlet, and even extra laces, which is really nice to see. Okay, so overall I'm impressed with how these are packaged. Common sense extras are always welcome. Extra shoelaces are my favorite inclusion that I believe really help buyers in the long run. I can't tell you how many times I've been saved by those extra laces that are included with certain brands. Okay, let's shine these shoes and get ready for the review. Alright, so for this portion of the review on the shine, I'm going to help address a question I get a lot in messages, and that's how do I get rid of micro scratches and micro lines when I'm finishing up the mirror shine so it looks really presentable and it looks amazing. So for the longest time, I'm not kidding, I hated mirror gloss. I just couldn't stand it. Now the problem with mirror gloss is that it's really a dry formula, so it would not go on easily onto the cap, and whatever lint was on my shine rag would cake into the wax. I just couldn't get a really good shine, and I just couldn't stand it. Now, for those who watch my videos, you know I recently started using water and rubbing alcohol, and that really helped lubricate the whole process, and it helped to spread the wax way faster and a lot more easily. So just recently, I know I've been shining for up to 2 years already, but just last month I really became a fan of mirror gloss. It just works so quickly. I'm not kidding, you can get a shine in under 2 or 3 minutes. It's just really fantastic. It is more expensive, but I'm a fan now. So use mirror gloss first to really fill in the pores and get that mirror shine started so it looks fantastic. And once you're done with the mirror shine, to your satisfaction and the pores have all been filled in and it's starting to glass over, you can switch over to Pat Deluxe, which is my favorite. It's a more wet formula, it has more solvents in it, it really spreads easily, but I found that it doesn't shine as quickly, but it produces overall the highest, glassiest shine of all. Okay, so when you get to this portion, when you're pretty much done with the mirror shine, but it just doesn't look perfect, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get that rubbing alcohol and water mix, and you can mix it any way you'd like, 50-50. Just make sure it's not full rubbing alcohol, or that'll really remove a lot of the wax. Sorry about the noise in the background. I think my neighbors are having work done on their house, and they're using a jackhammer of some kind, so it can get pretty loud. So just get your rag, and make sure you're on a clean portion of the rag, okay? Not one that has old wax on it, because that old wax hardens and it can scratch the mirror shine. Okay, wrap it around your hand, okay? Now, get to this point, put some rubbing alcohol and water on your hand, on your finger. Make sure it's not too wet, maybe a little bit more, okay? And you're gonna wanna start to go over the cap like normal. And you'll notice the rubbing alcohol and the water will really melt down those surface scratches and those surface lines, okay? You don't have to go over it that hard either, okay? And then you get your Pat Deluxe and you just touch the wax. Just touch it. You don't have to scrape or anything. Just touch it with a little bit of pressure and you'll get a tiny bit of wax on there, and then you just start to go over, okay? Lightly, like that. Just cover the whole cap in preparation for the final step, okay? Then you wait 10-15 seconds, okay? So you won't see the 10-15 seconds I'm going to cut it, but it's been about a minute. Rubbing alcohol water, get a little bit and put on the cap, maybe 2 or 3 drops, and then go back over. Okay, but this time you're going to be using more pressure than you should, and you're kind of building up that friction and that heat. But since it's glassed over, it's not going to pull anything off. You're just kind of going over it for the final step. Okay, with more pressure than you've ever done before. Okay, not so much that you're going to crack the wax, but harder than last time. Okay, and that friction and that heat, it's really going to melt everything down perfectly. And you're going to get this really nice, classy mirror shine without any streaks. Okay. And there you go. Really glassy, really reflective and shiny. So hopefully that helps. I know some of you have asked, how do you finish off the mirror shine? So hopefully that tip will help. So let's get back to the review.
So the brown Wingtip Oxford and the black punch cap toe Oxford are from the Goodyear Welted Bespoke collection. Although they are not actually bespoke, that's just the name of the line, so I wanted to clear that up. This plain toe Adelaide Oxford is called the Melbourne, and is actually from the higher end Founders line, which come with JR soles stock from the factory, so just ignore the fact that my own model has regular soles. That's not how they typically come from the factory. I'll make sure to group the shoes into their respective collections for the review so you can see the differences, because there are variances between lines that reflect the different price points here. Alright, let's start with the Melbourne from the Founders collection, because I'll tell you right off the bat, I ended up liking this shoe a lot more than I thought I would. I'm not a huge fan of plain toe shoes in general, and that's just me, there's nothing wrong with them at all, but I really liked how unique this model is. The Annonay Burgundy French box calf is really nice. It looks like museum calf, although the website doesn't make mention, but I can see some really beautiful marbling here. It's not super pronounced, but I love how it looks. The first thing I noticed with the Founders collection when compared to the bespoke grade is that the Melbourne has a more pronounced and dynamic last in general, which is to be expected because the Melbourne is from the higher end line. All shoes from the Founders line come in this Deuce last, which features a soft chiseled toe, which I think looks really great on this pair especially. No toe medallion on this pair, although it's not uncommon to find them on similar pairs. Now, as I've already mentioned, the Melbourne is an Adelaide Oxford, and for those who don't know what that is, Adelaides have this distinctive broguing pattern that comes around here by the eyelets and over the upper vamp and follows back around to the heel of the shoe. This pair is uniquely designed since the broguing pattern makes a sharp turn here instead, unlike the traditional design that's rounded off. It's a modern take on a classic design, and I think it succeeds in offering up a nice upgrade in that front. This is a really popular emerging style that I've seen at a lot of places now. The Melbourne features 5 eyelets which get progressively closer as you get to the top of the throat, leading the eye upwards and really giving the shoe a tight and regal look, and I really like that. All shoes from Bridlen, not just the Founders line, feature drum-dyed crust leather linings, which is great to see, and the leather board counter stiffeners with 5mm channeled leather bends for insoles. Now let's head downward to the welt and see where I think Bridlen has really hit it out of the park in both lines. The edges are very clean and pressed together beautifully for this price range. It's similar to what you'd get with Mere Min, but much cleaner overall, and it just looks more polished and presentable, so it's better. This is really great work. The shoes feature a full leather heel stack as opposed to particle leather, which is just another added touch to quality where many would just cut corners at this price range. The shoes feature welt fudging, although it's not very pronounced or purposeful. I'd like to see deeper grooves overall, but it's there with an impressive 8 stitches per inch, which is just solid work, and what's even better is that this is true across both lines, not just the Founders line, but also from the more affordable Bespoke line. So that's always awesome to see. I always love those fine details. Now, unlike I'd say 90% of all Goodyear welted shoes, Bridlen actually offers a 360-degree Goodyear welt, like Allen Edmonds does, as opposed to a 270-degree welt. But I have to say their heels are still very tight and close to the shoe, which is great because most of the time, 360-degree welted shoes are slightly wider and chunkier overall, but these are still pretty sleek and tight, which is pretty good. Now let's head down to the sole of the shoe and take a look. Now, as I've mentioned already, shoes from the Founders line come with JR soles from the factory, so mine aren't representation of what you'll find normally, but this is really clean work. The vegetable tan soles look fantastic and clean. This is really awesome and good to see. The shoes are closed channel stitched, also known as blind channel stitched, which means the soles are welted and then covered back over by the sole for a clean and aesthetic look. It's just another sign of added quality that Bridlen could have ignored and not raised any eyebrows at this price point, but the fact that they decided to go through with it is just a great sign. The heels are equally clean and feature quarter rubber heels for traction. Alright, now let's head over to the Bespoke line, which is more affordable, but still really well made. Let's start with the brown wingtip Oxford, which is personally my favorite style. I wear wingtips with suits and chinos and with jeans all the time, so I'm really happy to get such a good pair of shoes in such a versatile color. The black punch cap-toe Oxfords are a classic staple for those who are tired of the plain cap-toe Oxford. It's just ever so slightly less formal, but the brogues give it a nice flair, so this shoe also really works well in dark brown or in dark burgundy for some added versatility. Now, the first thing you'll notice about the Bespoke line is that the lasts are less dynamic overall and are more geared toward traditional classic styles, which isn't a bad thing at all, but it's just for your information, and if you're really into the dynamic contoured lasts of the modern age, maybe the Founders line is better for you. Depending on your preference, you may love or dislike these lasts, which is completely and totally fine. I'm happy to see that Bridlen offers a wide range of looks and styles for different tastes. I've found that they're probably more like what you'll find with Alden, fuller toes and more rounded, robust shapes. The wingtips are still more modern in design, while the punch cap-toe Oxford is definitely inclined to a more classic and fuller look. Both shoes are made using Annonay Vegano French box calf. Now, just to clear something up, because I've seen this topic debated on Facebook groups already, but Vegano box calf is not fake leather or vegan leather, even though it's called Vegano. It's just the name of the leather. The wingtips overall are designed beautifully with an elongated toe and a sleek design. The zip last comes with a rounded toe and a unique toe medallion, which is good, because I'm tired of seeing the old classics repeated again and again. These saw-like edges here are called pinking, and I always like to see this added touch on wingtips for a more elegantly rugged look. It's a decorative choice that I always miss when it's not there, so the old adage is true, it's the small details that make a big difference. The wingtips are a 5-eyelet Oxford with dark brown flat laces, which I'll just come out and say I prefer way over round laces any day of the week. The punch cap-toe Oxfords feature a more robust and classic design, which is exemplified really well here by the traditional and wider cap-toe. When looked at from the side, you'll see that the last is less formed and dynamic and more akin to the classic designs you'd see at Alden or Allen Edmonds. This isn't a complaint, mind you, it's just an observation for those who are inclined to such styles. This pair is constructed using Annonay French box calf like the others. It's soft and malleable and well constructed. The cap-toes are a 5-eyelet Oxford as well and come with flat black laces. Like the Founders collection, both the wingtip and the punch cap-toe are lined in drum-dyed crust leather and insoled with 5mm channeled leather bends. Now, unlike the Founders grade, the Bespoke grade does not feature JR soles, but in every other aspect, they are constructed just as well as the more expensive Founders collection. The edges are tight, smooth, and pressed together finely. Even the Bespoke line features an impressive 8 stitches per inch on the welt, which is really solid work. The closed channel stitch soles are vegetable tan leather and are well made with an almost glass-like smooth bottom. For the price point, this is amazing work, and I think that's what I want to highlight. Most shoes at this price range of $280 cut a lot of corners, but Bridlen has stepped it up and has added some great details. The heel stack is made of full leather, which is better than most shoes at this range that use particle leather. Surprisingly, the wingtips and the punch cap-toe feature slight beveling on the waist, which is another great detail you don't see at this range at all. Really happy to see it here. Really honest, great work. I'm really happy with how these 3 pairs came out. Both the Founders line and the Bespoke grade are fantastic shoes for the price. The Melbourne Adelaide Oxford ended up being my favorite style-wise, and the burgundy really looks quite stunning. Bridlen offers great entry-level shoes for an affordable price with the Bespoke grade, and the Founders line is a great step up for guys who value dynamic lasts and JR soles. Looking at shoes from around the world has been really eye-opening, and I'm glad I got to check out these Indian entries this time around. I hope you like them too. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share for more content in the future. Visit theelegantoxford.com if you'd like to purchase any of the shoe products you've seen me use. Make sure to check out my other videos as well if you'd like to learn more about the art of the shoe shine. Don't forget to look for me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Elegant Oxford. Remember to care for your shoes so they'll last you for years to come. Always put your best foot forward. The small details matter most, so don't forget to hashtag shine your shoes. I'll see you next time.